What's up, I don't take two. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to day 17 of my 31 days of reviews featuring Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. As always, this will be spoiled because it already came out. If you haven't seen it, don't watch this. And then when you do see it, come back and watch this and give me the love. And if you're watching this right now and you know you're not going to last the whole video, just give me a heart. Just like it. I'm saying great stuff, you know? Now, Mutant Mayhem, I'm just going to say that because for some reason when I try to say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it doesn't come out right. It comes out like Teenage Mutant Ninja. It doesn't come out right. So just Mutant Mayhem is what I'll be saying for this film going forward. Okay, so Mutant Mayhem came out in 2023. It has Seth Rogen, Ice Cube, and some other people that I'm not going to say their names because the 4 teenagers are these kids that I don't know who they are, but they did an amazing job in this film, and no disrespect to them, but I'm not going to say their names. But you can look it up. This has to be hands down one of the greatest TMNT adaptations. Now, I grew up during the 90s, and I grew up watching the original 3 from like Jim Henson and all them. Those are still solid in my book. Those don't go anywhere in my book. But let's call it spade a spade. If you go back and you watch those now, those are like 25, 30-year-old men. They ain't teenagers no more. They don't do teenager stuff. They don't move like teenagers. They don't talk like teenagers. But they're still classics because, you know, it's the 90s, man. We had all the great stuff in the 90s. But for Mutant Mayhem, they did this a service. Not only did you get kids around the age of the Turtles, you also was able to put them all in the same booth together, so they're working off of each other, which gave it this feel of like brothers and like connection, and like the way that they all talk over each other, the way that like the jokes bounce off of each other, top notch. Now, if you don't know, this film is essentially about the Turtles growing up, you know, trying to find their way in the world. Literally, they want to be a part of everything they see. You know, they want to be a part of the human race, essentially. But they know that they'll probably get shunned. And Splinter, also Jackie Chan is in this too. My bad, I forgot this. But Splinter has already encountered humans when they were little, and they weren't nice. And I'm not surprised because humans, we might be the worst species ever in life, ever created. The worst species. We can be the best, but we the worst. And so in doing this, they find other mutants. Baxter Stockman, it created the Ooze that created the Turtles, but it also created Superfly, played by Ice Cube. It created Bebop and Rocksteady, Mondo Gecko, Leatherhead, Scumbug, Ray Fillet. I had to give y'all that one time. Shout out to Post Malone because Ray Fillet might be like my favorite like mutant, like secondary mutant, I guess you could. But also I killed that too. I'm just saying. I didn't know I had it in. This film was amazing. It was funny. It's relevant. They act like teenagers. They act like young boys just looking for like acceptance and fun. Each turtle is distinct in their personality, but you can still see that they're related, you know, because if you really think about it, all of the turtles in a way represent a certain type of personality, whether it's like Raph being like angry and Donatello being smart and Leo being like the clear-headed thinker, even though he was like crushing hard on April, hard, and it was cute to see. But how about that? Anywho. And then you got Mikey, who obviously he's the youngest, even though they're all the same age. Because I was talking to somebody about it. They were like, how do you know all of the turtles are the same age? They could be different ages. Unless these were turtles not born at the same time, not born from the same like mother, essentially, or gotten from the same place. They all 15, okay? But obviously there is an order in a sense of like not so much like intelligence, but like you can see it in their bodies and their growth, even though Leo is obviously oldest. So it's like it's Leo, Raph, Donatello, Mikey. And you can see just from their personalities who's the oldest, who's the middle, who's the baby, and things like that. And you can tell by that too a little bit, because Donatello and Mikey, even though Mikey's voice is a little bit deeper than Donatello, they both still have like that squeaky 15-year-old, like, my balls didn't drop yet. Not only is this film amazing from like the plot, it's like the plot isn't like something like, oh my god, I wouldn't have thought about this, but it's done in such a way that you're happy that it's going at the route that it's going. You're happy when the humans come in and help, because like, we're the worst. So it was really cool to see that. It's super funny. And not only that, the soundtrack to this, okay. Now I should have said that it's like produced and executive produced, something like that, or like the screenplay was written by, or like co-written by like Seth Rogen. And if you don't know, Seth Rogen is he loves him some old school 90s hip hop. Even did a documentary about it. I think him and some other people, White Boy Rick, I think that was Seth Rogen. He loves him some 90s hip hop. And this film is chock full of 90s hip hop. And when I tell you this album is a banger, it bangs. Okay? I enjoyed everything about this film. I love the fact that April was black, because we've had a billion iterations of TMNT, and she been white, and sometimes she got red hair, sometimes she got dark hair, sometimes she got blonde hair, okay? But every single time, she been white, wearing that yellow jacket, doing some journalism, okay? This time, she's younger. She's around the same age as the Turtles. If not, she's a year older. I doubt she's 2 years older. She might be like 16 this age. But she's black. She a little chunky. You know what I mean? She got glasses. Who that remind y'all of? So for me, it was amazing seeing April look the way she looked, talk the way she talked, move the way she moved, because I finally was able to see somebody on screen that kind of looks like me. And that ain't, you know, Queen Latifah, because Queen Latifah is, for me, is a quintessential, like, me on screen, because I don't see anybody else that look like me on screen, essentially. So, and April fell in really nice with them. It was like everybody, this film was like a huge ensemble origin story. And I love that, because we got the origin of the Turtles. We get the origin of, what's her name? April. We're about to get the origin of Shredder, because we know he's popping up. And I'm one to guess that the person pulling the strings behind all of this, I'm guessing it's Krang, right? And for me, if they play this right, they can keep Krang in the background for a while. Like, maybe drop some hints, because I think the character that Maya Rudolph plays, the woman that milks them, you know, I think, and I love Maya Rudolph, phenomenal voice actor, but I think that she is Krang. Like, either she's a minion of Krang, or she's a minion of Krang and she doesn't know it, like he's possessing her or something like that. Because the color she's wearing is giving Krang, right? On top of that, too, the scene where the boys are getting milked and Splinter comes in to save them, and the alarm goes off, it's like for a minute she snaps out of this like evil persona, and she's like, what's going on with the like, she turns like very human, when this whole time she's been very calculated, very cold, very stern. And in this moment, some alarms scare you, baby. Nah, fam, nah. If you remember that part from the movie, you would. If you don't, go watch the movie. So I think she's Krang. I think she's like, Krang has possessed her or something like that with technology or something. But we see that Shredder is going to be in the end of this, and his animation looks sickening. But yeah, Mutant Mayhem, hands down for me. As a lover of the 3 original TMNT films back in the 90s, this film takes the cake, and I can't wait to see what they have going forward. Also, a special shout out to Giancarlo Esposito. He played Baxter Stockman in the beginning of, and a shout out to Ice Cube, because he plays Superfly. And I promise you, anytime Ice Cube is voicing over a character and he has words to say, any of his lines, Ice Cube be dope. Ice Cube is hilarious. He also enunciates like nobody. You understand me? Baxter Stockman. If you know, you know. If you don't, go watch the movie. All in all, don't forget to follow your girl on all social media. I give this a nice 10 out of 10. And hope to see you in the comments. Let's talk about it. Bye.